Okay, something a bit different for you today. Delighted to be joined by Bromley FC owner and chairman Robin Stanton-Gleaves and Bromley FC manager Andy Woodman. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. Andy, we'll start with you. The purpose of today's interview to focus and reflect on you signing a new deal, which is fantastic news. How does it feel to have done that here at Bromley Football Club?
Yeah, I'm delighted. You know, my time at Bromley has been great. I feel like it's as much my club as anyone else's. I've been the chairman's, and I'm kind of enjoying the journey. I've enjoyed the journey so far. We've still got some more hurdles to get over and some more goals to hit, but I'm delighted that I'm here.
Mr. Chairman, how important has Andy been in the club's rise in the past 4 years?
Well, he's fundamental, isn't he? Let's be honest. I think we're both in a unique and fortunate position because Andy's my only ever manager. You know, he's the manager that I appointed under my sole tenure here. And equally, I think I'm your only chairman. You know, so we don't sort of have baggage or history to look back on with previous relationships. It's a new, fresh relationship. From the outset, that was always, I guess, a gamble. But equally, it's the journey of Bromley has been led by Andy. And I'm chuffed with the way it's gone. Of course I am. And I'm chuffed that he signed and carried on his commitment to the football club.
It's been a whirlwind so far, hasn't it, Andy? How would you reflect on your time here so far?
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm really bad at reflecting, but I have done just recently. And you know, when you sort of go back over the achievements of what we've done, and I get the plaudits for it, but there's a lot of people around the football club that get the plaudits. The chairman, you people, everyone. It's been great. You know, I've loved it. I've loved learning my trade as a manager, which I've not done before. I've enjoyed working with the chairman because he's helped me as well on this route. And the players, you know, my biggest thing is seeing these players achieve what I know they can achieve, and that's the biggest thing for me when I see them achieve something. So, you know, that's what keeps driving me to make sure that we achieve things not only for Bromley Football Club, but these individual players achieve what they have to do in their careers.
Similar question, Andy picks on the word achieve a lot there, and that's something that's happened a fair few times in his tenure here, some key milestones achieved.
They are, and he made a good point. He doesn't often reflect on those, and he did at the start of this season. But I think that's testament to him because that's done. You know, the achievement's great, it goes in the history book, the fans thoroughly enjoy it, but in his world it's done. And I think that replicates itself throughout the football club because, right, what's the next journey? What's the next step? What do we need to put in place to achieve that? And that's how his mind works, and that's how he's wired, to quote his phrase. And it does, he's absolutely correct. Now, we make sure that goes throughout the whole of the football club so that hopefully everybody's on the same journey, on the same understanding, and perhaps the achievements aren't by coincidence and they're not luck because they are planned.
Would you say you've got a favourite memory so far from your time here?
Yeah, I'd be mad not to say that promotion day was just phenomenal. You know, the planning, the prepping, the whole work we've done to get to that point, and I was really confident. I mean, I said to Chair, we'll get promoted, but I didn't think it would come down to one kick. I've got to be honest, that was a bit tighter than I anticipated. But, you know, all the planning and prepping we did for the whole of that season might have just given us that 1% for it to get us across the line, and that by far was my greatest achievement in this football club. Not just for me, but for the chairman, for everybody. You know, I know how much it means to everybody, and the people of Bromley. You know, I don't lose sight of that. You know, from around this area. So when I bump into people and they tell me that was their greatest day, that really does sort of strike a chord with me.
It changed the course of history for the football club. You know, you talk about the achievements. That achievement changed history. Yes, it was the first time we went into the league. It changed the financial model for the football club, and it creates the start of a legacy of the football club in the town, like he says. So that has to be the fundamental, most important day so far on our journey.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
It's a very ambitious club. How important is it for you to have a manager that is equally as ambitious?
Well, I wouldn't have appointed him if he wasn't ambitious. You know, I have a mindset, I have a vision, and so the people you employ around you have to share that. If they don't, then you don't select them. And Andy had that vision and mindset from the outset. So yes, his ambition was paramount in his selection those many years ago.
You're obviously primarily responsible for what happens off the pitch, but just as a manager, to have seen all the changes and the progress made over the past 4 years off it must be really pleasing for you as well.
That's really amazing you've asked me that question, because I was literally walking down there looking at that stand, and I've been at many clubs where a club where they're building a new stand or a new dressing room, and you very rarely stay long enough to see it finished. And I in my head, I think of Colchester. When I was at Colchester, we had done all the planning and never saw the new stadium. And I was actually walking past there, and I've seen this building be built. I'm now seeing that building be built, and I actually said to myself, it'd be nice if I could finish up one day here, and it's all built, and I walk out of here, and it's got to where I wanted it to get to, and where I sort of sat on a chair when I first met him when we was in the National League. And we said where we want to get to, and that would be I could walk out of here and knowing I've done everything I said I'd do.
We sit here today, the day before the match away to Cheltenham. Early days in this season so far, but how do you feel about the group of players and the group of staff that you've got around you looking into the season ahead?
Yeah, I must say, again, the group of staff I've got are fantastic. You know, again, that was sort of paraphrasing what the chairman said to me, but he said to me from the very beginning, I do everything, and it shouldn't be like that. And I could never understand that. You know, that's my job. I've now got staff that all know their roles, what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, so I don't have to question them. So that's a good bit of learning management for me that I've learned, because I did like to do everything, and I trust the people that work for me. So I'm immensely proud and chuffed at those people, how hard they work. The players, I mean, I think, with respect to all the players I've had before, and I do mean that with respect, this is by far the strongest group, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, and you can just look at the substitution I can make, the players I'm leaving out the team. It doesn't sit well with me in one breath, but it's actually kind of, I sit in my office when I shut the door and think, wow, I've got some real great selections to make, and that's really a good place that we've never been in. The key for me is to make sure I make the right selections and make sure that this group outperforms what it should do anyway, and that's all we always have to do. That we always have to outperform what we are, and that's the way I like it.
We've had conversations recently, in videos that have gone out. We've focused a lot on what's happening away from the pitch, but how far do you think this club can go on the pitch with Andy?
we had a very early conversation, literally very early conversation, before anyone knew that I was going to come here as manager. And I'll let the chairman take over the rest of that.
Look, we're ambitious. I'm not sure I want to put it out there on film, but you know, I think the history shows one step at a time. He's got his targets for this year. I think they're very real. I think the start of the season has shown the quality of the squad, the strength we show on the pitch, and I would say watch this space for the rest of this season. Beyond that, there's another league, and there's another league beyond that. This isn't a journey to be done in the next couple of years. We're here to make this journey all the way through to the end, and make the football club a place that the town of Bromley is proud of. And and the football club is an important part of the infrastructure of the town that I was born in and Andy lives by. You know, so that we can say, look, guys, that's what we've done for you.
Gentlemen, fantastic news to celebrate today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers.